G-Man's presence in Half-Life Alyx was originally going to be quite different. As revealed in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx, during the development of the game, there was an idea that G-Man would have handed out business cards. Over the course of an unused version of the storyline, he would give these cards to various characters that Alyx would meet. These cards would contain a word or phrase on them, and these characters would then read that to her. The writer at the time, Rob Yescombe, wanted to build out the mythology of G-Man's means of influencing people. In one draft of the ending of the game, the G-Man will also give Alyx a business card. Armed with the business card, she would go back in time and use the phrase written on hers to save Eli from Combine captivity. If you decompile retail Half-Life Alyx's G-Man model, you can find an attachment point still connected to it named Card. An attachment point on Source Engine characters is the physical point where a prop will be held by a character. The card point is placed very far from the actual model, suggesting one of two things. Either the card's center was itself very far from its own model, or that this point was moved out of the way for the attachment points used in the retail sequences. Remaining in the files of retail Half-Life Alyx is an audio recording of a playtest of Russell's lab. This audio recording details an older version of the plot from sometime in early 2019. This recording also features a different Alyx, Merle Dandridge. As seen in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx, she was originally approached to reprise her role as Alyx for the game. Valve would end up reworking much of the game across 2019, and the actress Ozuyama Akaga would come to play Alyx for the release version. Here's the recording without commentary.
Alyx, great. Okay, let's... Wait, my drone's okay, right?
No, it exploded. I'm okay, though.
Right, good, well, that's the main. Now look, you've got to see this.
What is it?
It's a holding facility. Whatever thing they've got in there needs more energy than I've ever seen. See those conduits? Each one has an energy capacity of 4, maybe 5,000 terawatts.
But you don't know what's inside.
I don't, but I think your father does.
So the Combine have some mysterious God knows what, and they have my dad, and we have...
My plan to get him back.
Well, great. Let's hear it.
Now, pretty soon they're going to realize that your dad is not going to talk, and when that happens, he's off to have his brain sucked out.
Russell.
Potentially. Maybe not, though. I mean, they could just drill into his...
Stop.
Oh, yeah, still your dad. Right, well, what they will do is take him by train from here, this is Eli, to here, Nova Prospect.
And if he gets on the train, that's it, right?
Not necessarily. Grab something that represents us. Okay, that's you.
I thought you said us.
Well, one of us, me, will have to stay here for this plan to work.
Okay.
Just outside, there's a second train that also leads out of City 17, through the quarantine zone.
Okay.
Both trains intersect here, at Fairview Junction. You take your train, get there before his train, and hack into the controls. That'll let me take over the system. Train comes to a halt, you deal with the Combine situation, and we get your dad back.
Yeah. Where's the train I'm taking?
Out the back, through the yard. It's decommissioned, but I think I can hack into its controls. Oh, and get yourself a pair of Russells on the way out.
Russell's?
The gloves, Alyx. You know, the gravity gloves. I have a few sets through there. You can calibrate them out by the shed.
Got it.
We can do this, Alyx. You got that, didn't you, that I said we could do it? Because we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm with you every step of the way.
At the beginning of Half-Life 2, Barney sends you into a storage room to escape to the train station plaza. This is the first true tutorial for the game. The 20th anniversary commentary describes a bit of why and how this was developed.
Pile up some stuff to get through that window and keep going till you're in the plaza. I'll meet up with you later.
Blocking tutorials. At times, we need to be certain the player has learned something, and the standard method, at least in game development, not in life, is to trap them behind a gate of some kind, where the player must demonstrate their knowledge to be able to continue. We try to disguise these gates as something natural, so it doesn't feel like the game has come to a halt. Of course, time, resources, or the environmental context itself can make that tricky. In this case, we needed to teach the players how to move objects, so a simple stacking puzzle seemed like the best solution. We tested more complex designs, but they ended up being less effective at teaching the actual thing we needed the player to learn.
There is one issue that can come up when trying to pass through this gate, though.
Blocking tutorials 2. There are 2 failures of note in this tutorial. First, players can break it by tossing all the boxes out the window, which is obviously not great. This leaves them stuck and unable to continue, which we consider a game-stopping bug that must be fixed. A clean solution would have been to tweak the window or crate sizes so that the player could fit through but not the crates. The problem was that we really only caught this problem late in development, and making even a simple change like that can have unpredictable game-breaking consequences, and right before launch no less. Also, this issue was purely theoretical. We'd never actually seen players do it. Our playtests of the design space had gone smoothly, with players learning what they needed and moving on. So changing the room's design this late in the game could have disrupted that success in ways that we couldn't foresee, so we opted for a more conservative fix rather than something elegant. If you're curious, try tossing all the boxes out the window and see what happens.
So what happens if you do throw every box out of the window? You'll actually find that one box in the corner never really goes away, no matter how many of them you also throw out of the window. Throughout the Combine era of Half-Life games, several of their guns have been seen but are unusable. The first of which is the Combine Sniper. Although it's physically unseen in Half-Life 2, we do see how powerful it is near Shore Point Base, and during the Uprising. Alex, however, does get the chance to use it in Episode 1.
I might be a little rusty with this rifle. Ha! Nope, guess I'm not.
And Episode 2.
Hey, we got the rifle charged up.
Episode 2 also lets us see what it actually looks like. It's found near the Red Seesaw Bridge, where you first get the muscle car. Half-Life Alyx introduces a plethora of new weapons. Several of the ones given to the Combine are unusable to the player, with the in-universe explanation being a genetic block. There is a new, unusable member of the AR family, held onto by the Ordinals. Interestingly, this new AR shares the I-Rifle name with the AR-2 in Half-Life 2. The genetic lock aspect comes into play with the new SMG. The player can eventually claim an unlocked version of it.
Alex, it's your lucky day. That Combine weapon's unbonded.
How are you sure?
It's still in the case. They never leave them in the case.
Nice.
I didn't even need to edit your genetic code.
I know. You love that.
That's okay. There'll be a next time.
The Grunts, however, get a special version of it that remains locked off. The version the Grunts use is bulkier, with a larger magazine and a different barrel setup. Continuing the naming convention from the AR, the new SMG is named the I-Pistol. There's also a supersized, box-fed, heavy shotgun used by the Charger. This shotgun also has unused animations referencing the Tau cannon, with a spinning set of cylinders with the liquid near the front. Finally, there is a large, handheld machine gun in the hands of the suppressor. The barrel appears to be based on the Lewis gun's aluminum shroud. It's possible then it's intended to help cool itself. The gun even has rear fins that almost act like a heatsink. In the Team Fortress 2 map Thunder Mountain, near the very first blue spawn, you can spot a large valley with a railroad bridge crossing over it. On occasion, a steam train will journey over the bridge. The CTF version of Thunder Mountain features 2 of these valleys with bridges, right behind each intelligence spawn. Trains will similarly cross them on occasion. In the CS2 version of Cache, if you go to Checkers, you can find a poster right below the vent. This poster is for the 1990 FUBU Football Championship held in Rome. This is a deliberate reference to the real FIFA World Cup held that year in Italy. Many of the details match very closely to the real 1990 World Cup, including the participants. As the Iron Curtain fell in 1989, much of the Eastern Bloc was falling apart at the same time as the World Cup. So this was the final appearances for the USSR, which dissolved in 1991, the Czechoslovak Socialist Republic, which after a name change the year of the Cup, would dissolve New Year's Eve 1992, Yugoslavia, which violently broke apart starting in 1991, and West Germany, which absorbed East Germany in the October following the Cup. According to the poster, West Germany won the Cup, followed by Argentina in second place, the US in third, and England in fourth. This doesn't match the real World Cup, though. The actual third place was Italy. The dates and places for the final matches are aligned with the real event, though. Cache is set in Chernobyl. The disaster at the plant took place in April 1986, only a couple of months before that year's FIFA Cup. It's possible then that this 1990 poster comes from one of the various workers who came in after the disaster as part of cleanup and monitoring efforts. At the beginning of Portal 2's chapter, The Fall, you do indeed fall down a very large shaft all the way to Old Aperture.
Welcome, gentlemen, to Aperture Science.
While it looks like you and Potatoes are the ones in motion, this is nothing but a trick.
Good, that's still working.
The reality, as seen in Hammer, is that the shaft is the one moving. This is the area where the player, Potatoes, and the elevator sit. The red clip brushes are what stops the player from actually falling and keeps them in place. These lines streaking up and down through the middle of the scene are the tracks that the shaft uses to move. The little movements that Potatoes has to make it look like she is moving through the air are controlled by these door and rotating entities. The shaft itself is broken into pieces, and you can see them spawn in as you fall in game. Here are the individual shaft pieces. They are arranged in chronological order. The depth signs that go past are literally the same entities being respawned over and over again, but with a changing texture. The wood and metal pieces that break right at the end of the fall are separate entities, and added into the final shaft when they are needed. In several campaigns in Left 4 Dead 2, you will find this sheriff's car model. Along the column behind the passenger door, you can spot a department emblem. The details are hard to make out, but it is actually based on a real emblem. This is one of the real emblems for the Early County Sheriff's Department. You can see it here painted on the pavement in this 2024 street view, right in front of the Early County Jail in Blakely, Georgia. Dead Center, The Sacrifice, The Passing, and Dark Carnival are all set in Georgia. However, their rough path along and direct connection to Interstate 16 means that none of them can actually be set in Early County. Early County is near the Georgia-Alabama-Florida tri-state border, which is extremely far from the I-16, as that runs between Macon and Savannah.